Oh, hello everybody. Another little update video here I thought I'd make. See, I was cruising around in a little Manco mini bike. I've been purchasing some different toys and things recently, so I thought I'd do another update video of sorts here. This is the tractor shed. I guess probably haven't seen this in a video in a while. Some changes there. You can see a bunch of all the implements I was screwing with laying outside. There's my little disc for the B110, the wheel frame, the little suspension trailer, blade for the B110, some other stuff. Plow cultivator. That's a cultivator I made for the wheel horse. So I'll take you inside here in a minute, show you some stuff. First, I guess here's another project tractor, an Allis Chalmers 917, probably around 1985 or thereabouts. It's actually not mine. It's just my uncle's. He bought this, and we're gonna fix it up, use it for tilling, because we have a 712 for using the rototiller, but this one here has hydraulic lift, so it should be a lot nicer with the tilling, because you won't have to work to lift the tiller as much. It just lifts it for you. It's got a Kohler KT17 Series 2. These are good engines, but this one I'm pretty sure has a busted rod on this cylinder. Just there, because I got it running and it was running really bad, and I found out there's actually no compression at all on that cylinder. And it does kind of make a knock when it runs, so there's a very small chance it could just be a stuck valve, but I think it's got a busted rod. So that'll have to come apart, or if we source a new engine, we could do that too. But anyway, that's a little project, I guess. It's a neat tractor. The hydraulic lift is going to be pretty cool. Hydrostat. Got the middle PTO right there. That'll be cool. It's in pretty good shape. Didn't pay very much for it, so. And there's my other B110, the parts one, which is simply now just a parts tractor. I think I planned on putting an engine in it at some point, but I ended up just taking some parts off it for my other one, so it's mostly just a parts tractor now. I have a whole transmission in it, that's good, so if I ever need transmission, I have a spare, so I guess that's good. Anyway, take you in here. Well, here you can see all the different things got going on here. So these are two Carter's tractors, obviously, the Yard Machines and the Jacobsen. Couple engines here. I just got this engine and that engine this weekend at auction. This is a 10 horse Kohler, a K241. It's missing the piston and rod and the coil, whatever reason, so I'm assuming it blew up maybe and they just took the parts out of it. It's in good shape though, so I'll probably try and rebuild it and use it. It come out of a case. You can tell by that fan and the PTO clutch and everything, instead of a case garden tractor. This here is a 7 horse Briggs vertical. Kind of a neat engine. $5 for this one, so can't beat that. A little pull start on top, and it looks like it had that looks like a starter generator pulley there too, possibly. The bottom's gone off. It's broke off, but so I don't know what this was off of, but might have had a starter generator. And this here, I just bought this the other day, and a couple weeks ago, I guess it was actually. Either way, an 18 horse vertical Magnum. Yes, I'm very excited about this engine. Obviously, I have a horizontal Magnum in my Craftsman, and I love that engine a lot. It's a very, very good engine. So I now have a vertical Magnum. I have no idea what I'm going to put it in, but I'll definitely put it in something. It's a nice engine. Only thing missing on this one is the exhaust, but that's no big deal. I can definitely work with that. And just other engines in here, some Post Twins, a bunch of singles that are probably never going to get used, but they're there. So here's the B110. It's still running just fine. My little homemade lift hitch on the back. I changed it a little bit. I added this hand crank for adjustment here. You can actually turn that, and it adjusts the drawbar height up and down, which is handy because some implements need different heights. So, and now you can just do it, reach behind you and crank it. GT6000 here. It's doing just fine. Not much. Oh, I guess I put a hood rack on it. That's the newest thing, I think. Just did that a little bit ago. I don't know why I got that idea, but I thought it'd be neat to try, and sure enough, it's kind of handy actually. So still working good. The little Ford, I guess last time this was in a video, it didn't have an engine. It now has a 16 horse pressure lube Briggs & Stratton opposed twin that I haven't got running yet. This is the one that came out of my MTD and it was acting funny, and it's still acting funny, so I gotta take some time to figure out why it doesn't want to run, but I'll get to that eventually, I guess. The exhaust on that one, it doesn't run, but it has neat exhaust on it, so that's good enough for me. And then there's the wheelie, my Wheelhorse 655. It's still running great. Little 5-horse Briggs in it. It's a little underpowered, but it's a good runner, so it works good. Part of me wants to try and put that 10-horse Kohler in it once I get it running, but holy, I think it'd be a tight fit on this tractor. I did some measurements, and I'm pretty sure the engine is like 1.5 inches too tall. Like a spark plug would be keeping this hood open, I think. So I don't know. I'd like to try and find an older engine to put in it. I mean, a 5-horse Briggs, I'd rather have that than a friggin' Honda clone or something. Not to try and start any arguments, but so. But anyway, an older iron engine would be in there. Being in there would be pretty cool. Like maybe an 8-horse Kohler or something like that. There's Carter's mini bike. That is where mine rests. You can see the indent for the tire. They just kind of lay next to each other. His is doing all right as well. I sped mine up a little bit ago, and I still can't catch this one, so that's a shame, but I'll keep tinkering. Maybe I'll be able to beat him. He's got twice the engine I do, so yeah. Okay, take you out here, I guess. This little other section here, this is where the John Deere 110 sits. It just kind of tucks up in here. I guess this, put a bumper with a stinger on it there recently on this one. It's still a good runner, a great runner actually. It's unbelievable how good this thing runs considering it sat outside for years. It's a real nice tractor. It's just, well, it doesn't get used quite as often as it should, so but it still always runs good, so no big deal. And there's my little off-road supplies trailer that I've been neglecting to work on, but I don't even use it really, but it's still kind of neat. A couple golf cart tires and stuff. Here's where we drive the tractors up into. They come in here and whoop, right in there. And here you'll see, what's this? More tractors, yes. This one here, this B110, which has been painted white, as you can see. It is also my uncle's tractor. He bought this and the 917 at the same time. This one runs. I got it, me and my cousin, we got it running. You had to take the coil out. It was dead. And put just the standard solid state Briggs coil on it. Flip it over to get the polarities right, and it runs just fine. And I think the bevel gearbox, if I can get this open here. The bevel gearbox needs some attention because when you let the clutch out from a standstill or you get working it, it starts to slip and make this, I don't know, it's like a banging noise almost. It sounds like the shaft is slipping inside the gear, like the keys kind of stripped, so that's not good. So we probably shouldn't drive it anymore or it'll get worse. So it's hard to say when that one will get fixed, but nice, it's good shape. Other than, I mean, the paint is a nice job, but I don't know why they painted it white. At least they put the decals on. I don't know what that looks like. It's from a full-size Alice tractor, like maybe a 7000 series or something or whatever, but oh well, nice tractor anyway. This here is my most recent tractor purchase. It's my new, it's a 716, try and get over here to show you. A 716 Alice, 6-speed. You can see it's got the high and low range there. The decals have been painted over on this one, which kind of bothered me at first because I really hate when people do that. But I don't know, after I started driving it and stuff, I completely forgot about that because it is a really nice tractor. I'll try and a lot of room there. Here we are, Kohler K341. My first 10-volt Kohler. I've never owned a 16 horse before, so this is my first, and I really like it. It's a good runner. The doesn't knock or smoke or nothing. I think it runs a little rich, and it has a hair of a misfire to it, so I might have to tinker with it. Just does it every once in a while. It's not like it sits there and sputters and half dies, but it just the hair of a misfire. So it really runs good. I just didn't have to do much to it. I had to put this battery. You see, I need to get I need to get new ends. It was set up for a big automotive battery, and I didn't have one, so I just did that trick. I wouldn't recommend that for a long time. I guess it doesn't hurt anything. But anyway, I had to put a battery in it. I had to put a new plug and then shine the points up, and it pretty much just ran fine after that. Change the oil. It was kind of nasty looking. I might do it again here sometime soon. Yeah, it's a 6-speed, so it's got the 3 speeds here. Let's see, it's 3 first, second, third, and reverse, and then we got this here, which will. There's high range, and there's low range. In a minute, I'll show you how that works. There's a reason you got to put the clutch in to do that, even when it's not running. I'll show you. I think it's very, very neat. This here, I'm not sure if this has ever been in a video. I'm trying to think back. I don't think it has. Regardless, this is my 1957 Bohlins Versamatic walk-behind garden tractor. I just recently got it running for good. I've had it for years. Like, I think this was the first tractor-related item I ever owned. Like, even before I had the NTD at stock form, I think I had this before that. Bought it in town from a guy with 3 implements. And yeah, it didn't run. I took it to high school for my little shop class a number of years ago and tinkered with it and kind of got it running. And then the coil died indefinitely, like there was no chance of saving it, and I just kind of forgot about it. And I recently bought a coil online from iSaveTractors.com. It was one of those ones that you got to press the center out of it and then put the center inside the new coil, which was pretty straightforward. I did that, tinkered with it, put it back together, and I tell you, it runs very, very nice now. It's pull start, obviously, and usually it starts on the first pull of the rope. I never really had to tinker with the engine much. That's not the right carb on it. But I never, it doesn't knock or anything. It smokes a little bit. So I would be surprised if it needed a good cylinder hone and a set of piston rings. But man, does it ever run nice. And it's got a nice sound to it. Real sweet old engine sound. I'll get it outside here maybe, and I'll try and fire it up for you and show it. So yeah, you can see she's just a little bit of a smoker. Not as bad once you get kind of warmed up and working, but it definitely runs very nice. Pretty cool. I got an old moldboard plow for it here, and a 8-blade disc. I've been using this a lot in the last little bit, actually. They both work very well. I had a cultivator too, but it's pretty rough, so I never got to use it. But that's no big deal. Yeah, definitely runs very, very nice. Okay, so we're currently sitting on the 716 here. Take it for a little cruise, I guess. Okay, so I'll show you here quickly how this dual range setup works. So this is the same, I believe it's actually the same transmission that's in my B110. I might be wrong about that, but it's the same shifter pattern, same idea. There's your 3 speeds, so it's just a regular transmission. The ranges are not in the transmission. See, the transmission looks pretty much the same. It's got a bevel gearbox. So here you see we have not 1 but 2 belts. Here we got a bigger pulley driving a smaller pulley, and here we have a smaller pulley driving a bigger pulley, and we all know what that means. One is fast and one is slow. So you can see there's an idler down here, and that connected to the clutch. Pretty simple, straightforward clutch setup. So basically you push the clutch all the way in, you move this lever back and forth. I just don't have it all the way in, but there we go. And there you have your dual ranges. Super simple, but it works great, and I think it's pretty neat, so definitely nice. I've always wanted one of the 6-speeds. That's the reason I bought this one. There's a friend of mine, the same guy we bought the Ford from actually. He messaged me asking if I wanted a 716, and I saw it was a 6-speed, so I went for it. Pretty neat setup. Cool tractor. I'll be able to put this to work for sure. It's nice to have 2 Allis tractors now as well. So you may have noticed the MGD was not in the tractor shed. That's because it is here in somewhat of a state of disarray, because I actually rolled this thing down a hill yesterday, as is evident by the destroyed air cleaner and the big dents in the blower shroud. So yeah, that was kind of not fun. I didn't break my spindle, the retainer clip from the top kind of flew off, I guess, in the rollover process, and went flying down the hill, and it also, that caused the tie rod to snap in both places, at the end and at that end. So yeah, that was, oh, and I'm pretty sure the grill has had its last, because it really wrecked the grill. It's plastic, the hood is fine, the hood took it, no problem. Oh, there's a little bit of dent there, maybe. So yeah, that was, I think the grill's screwed. I might try and fix it, I might not. I'm sure it won't be too hard to find one of those grills to replace it. It leaked oil everywhere. Obviously, just lay it on its side for a minute. Yeah, what a lovely tire. I actually just noticed just now that it actually broke one of my hood supports. I thought they both just came off or something, but no, I guess it broke that one. I tried to start the engine, but it wouldn't start. I don't know if the oil fouled this plug here or what, but so yeah, I guess that's the next little project, is figure out what all happened, and if it's good to run it, I'll put it back together and fix the things and run it, I guess. I don't know if it, you can see it looks like it buckled that grill tower a little bit, because that was straight before. So, oh yeah, I broke the shifter too. That's not supposed to be like that, obviously, but anyway, I didn't get hurt. Well, I hurt at first, but after that it was more of a shame thing. So fun. One more thing I'd like to show you here. This is something we purchased from the same people we got the 2 Allis tractors from. This is not technically a tractor. I don't know what you'd classify it as, other than cool. Yes, here we have the Smithco Runaway. This is a, I believe it's for golf courses, or just whatever, I guess, but I believe it's actually intended for use on a golf course. It's a utility truck, 3-wheeled unit, as you can see. This Runaway Smithco, I should say Smithco on the side. Yep, there it is. I'll tell you what, this thing is super cool. This was something they had, and when we were looking at the tractors to buy them, they had this there, and they were planning on getting rid of it, and we bought it. I'll show you the big power plant here. Oh yeah, that's a lot of engine. I'm not positive on the model because, well, I can't find an ID tag, but it's one of the Kohler K series opposed twins, the early ones, and it is in fact 12-volt ignition, so it's either a K 432, a 532, or a 582. I'm not positive which one it is, but either way, it's a lot of iron, a lot of power. You can see here, it's a lot of stuff going on under there. All those sprockets there, there's supposed to be chains on those, and there's supposed to be a belt here, because it actually has a PTO shaft at the back. See it right there. So no chain, no belt means it doesn't work. But you can easily purchase those items and get the PTO working. Damn wind. Anyway, I'll show you this again here. So there's a battery, great big fuel tank, and big hydraulic tank. This engine, when we got it, they said something about it needing a coil, and I think they were right. It would run pretty rough when it got hot, and if you started it and shut it off when it was warm, it was kind of a bugger to get it started again, which usually means coil. I bought this new coil from iSafeTractors.com, the same place I got my Bollens coil, and it ran horrible. I mean horrible. Like, we had to tow it back to the house because I drove it a little bit and then it wouldn't even rev up. So as you can see it there, I actually ended up having to put another condenser on it. So I had a bad coil and a bad condenser. And I tell you what, this thing runs like a dream now. It wouldn't rev up all the way before very much when you'd floor the pedal, or the pedal that controls the hydraulic forward and reverse movement, and also the throttle at the same time. And the engine would stumble and sputter, and it also wouldn't rev up all the way. I didn't know what the hell the deal was with that, but it turns out, well, the spark was just lacking. When the engine needed more juice, there wasn't any there. Not as much as it should have been anyway. You can see the previous owners installed a electronic fuel pump. I actually took the old one out. You can see the, maybe you can't actually, you can see the plate I made to cover it, because it was in there doing the valve clearances, so I just made a plate to cover the fuel pump hole. And yeah, it's a good runner. I'll fire it up here in a minute. Also, you can see this here. Most of you can recognize that as a hydraulic control valve. That's because this thing has a hydraulic tilt bed, which to me is super cool, and it can lift a lot of weight. I've had it loaded up with concrete 3 or 4 times, and like big chunks of concrete, and it'll just dump them without even thinking about it. It actually says right there as a warning that says do not exceed 1,500 pounds. So to me, that means it can lift 1,500 pounds though, which is rather impressive. It's kind of neat. It's just got standard 23-inch garden tractor tires on the back with the 5-bolt pattern. I believe that's 5 by 4.5, and they're just turf tires, which is pretty cool. It means I can put some big ATV tires on it if I wanted to. It's got leaf springs in the back with this big axle here and little shocks. See a muffler exits right there. You see all the hydraulic hoses. See the cylinder. See the disc brakes for both wheels. In the front, it's a single wheel, as you already saw. And it has a little wishbone with coilovers on it, like a Springer style front end on a motorcycle, sort of. LED headlights, they were installed by the previous owners. And yeah, it's pretty simple to operate. It's got a nice low steering ratio. It's actually chain. Maybe you can see in there's a chain. Two sprockets. Pretty simple setup. Lever for the cylinder for the bed, choke, throttle, travel pedal, and this is just a parking brake. And then you got your light switch. That's an oil pressure gauge. You can see that comes on. An amp gauge and a tachometer, which is pretty cool, and an hour meter. And if you can see that, it's actually got 3,200 hours on it, which is a lot of hours. So I don't know if this engine's been rebuilt or what, because it doesn't knock or smoke or anything, so it's a lot of hours though. It's got a horn button, which doesn't work. The horn's just in there. I don't know why it doesn't work, but I have to do something about that. Have me a horn on her. Let's see if I can get it to fire here for you. Tack does work. But yeah, you can see it moves along pretty good. And well, it's stupid simple to drive, really. You rock that pedal forward for forward, you rock it backwards for reverse, and then steering. You don't got to work the throttle because, as I said, that pedal is actually tied into the throttle, so as you go faster forward, it also revs the engine. It's all one linkage assembly there. It works pretty well. As you can hear, it runs fantastic. Like I said before, I used to stumble when you'd step on the throttle and have a hard time, but wow, is it ever nice now with that new coil and condenser. I was happy I had to get that coil from My Safe Tractors because they're friggin' expensive from Kohler, as most things are. So anyway, I'm imagining this is going to be a long video, so I apologize for that in advance. But a lot of different things going on here. A lot of tractors going on at once, and engines and toys. So anyhow, that's it for me today. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.